Peace and blessings, everyone. I want to come on here and I want to talk about the Quincunx and happy hump day, by the way. Of course, I'm a night owl. I'm up here being nocturnal, you know. I'm up here being nocturnal. I'm up pretty much a night owl. So, being a night owl tonight, like I normally do on occasions, on some occasions, even though I'm more so like a sun person. Some people work well with the moon energy. I'm more so of a sun person. I like the sun. I work well with the sun energy, especially the daytime energy. So so with that, I like nighttime, but I'm more so, like I said, I'm more so of a sun person. I'm more so like the sun. Um, so But what I want to come on here and I want to talk about is quincunxes and what it represents. Cause the quincunxes, they're pretty much like, cause because let's say, well, wherever one placement is at, it's like it's 150 degrees, I think, from that particular placement or something like that. It's not far apart. But with those quincunxes, what they do, it's more so like oil and water. If you get what I'm saying in that sense. But you have to find out how to work together with the two, how to allow them to intertwine, rather than for those two to operate independently. The quincunx will put you in mind of kind of like the chariot card in the tarot deck. It's more so like, because cancer will represent the vehicle and the fluids that's going into the vehicle, right? And like the oil, that's why it's important. Like with a vehicle, you have to keep your oil checked out, your or clean and stuff, or keep it filled. And water, you have to check all those fluids in there, power steering fluid and all, in order for the vehicle to operate properly. And gas, which will help the vehicle run as well. And it will help keep things lubricated inside the vehicle, the operational parts. And of course, you have the firepower, which is Sagittarius, because Sagittarius represents the firepower. Sagittarius is a mutable energy that will move wherever, that will help push you in the direction that your desired direction. See, it's kind of like the 23 energy and that 5 energy with Sagittarius. It's kind of, it can push you in, it will push you in whatever direction that you choose to go to, or that you desire to go to. If you get what I'm saying in that sense. That's how it is with, because it's just like with electricity. Of course, you're going to have power grids, but you will also need water to help those power grids function. You will need that water as well in order to combine with it, to help those power grids function, to help create power with the tools that they have there, to help provide systematic power. So that's how it is with quincunxes. You got to allow those energies. You got to work with those energies. No, it's not easy, but you have to work with those energies. You have to allow those energies to intertwine. Let me give an example. Let's say if a person have Mars and Scorpio in the first house, and let's say if it's quincunx Neptune in 11, Neptune and Pisces in 11. Okay, so what are you going to do with that energy besides, because Mars is Scorpio and then you have it in the first house? Of course, it's going to give you that. Of course, it's going to give you the ability to be able to be. It's going to provide you with different skills depending on whatever it's aspect of it, and the ruler and all, and where it is. Um, like some people may get blessed with sexual skills, especially even after they went through experiences. They may get blessed. So I talked about that previously in the Saturn video about what Saturn take you experiences and what type of gifts that it would leave you with. But and those gifts are eternal, or it will help develop those skills within you. But the thing is too is that what are you going to do with those skills is the question. Like, what are you going to do with those gifts and skills? What are you going to do with that? Those gifts and skills that you have. Are you going to use it to help impact other people? I mean, well, let's put it like this. How are you going to? Because you're going to impact people. You'll use to make a mark on people, but how? I mean, to help make an impact on humanity in some way, shape, form. But how? How will you do that? Because you got because the first house is the self, it's the body, it's your image. Of course, the first house rules the head. It rules your body, your physical body. But how are you going to harness that energy? Especially if you keep your body in shape and all, you got that sex appeal, and you know how to you know how to dance, and you even have sexual skills. I mean, not sexual skills, but you even have sexual skills. But what are you going to do with that? Okay, so it making a quincunx with Neptune and Pisces in 11, and of course, um, Pisces represents television, movies, television, and then 11th house even represents goals, hopes, dreams, wishes, and the 11th house also um, represents social media, the internet, social network, creating connections that will be, I mean, having connections that will be beneficial, that will help you achieve your goals, and that will help you make something of yourself with those skills that you have. So what you have to find balance between the two. Like, what are you going to do with those skills? Like, are you just going to sit there and not do nothing with them? Like, just besides, just having sex or whatever the case is. Like, how are you going to harness them? How are you going to use them to your benefit? So let's say, the way how I see, if someone like this have a particular placement like that, the best case scenario for them, I'm just using they have sexual skills as an example. Best case scenario for them is to use those skills in terms of body art. Use that in terms of body art to create, in terms of adult entertainment, in terms of not only in terms of adult entertainment, in adult entertainment field, like for example becoming a sex worker, or like for example porn star, a porn model, or being a model, or underwear model. Cause Pisces also rules lingerie, underwear modeling. That's what Pisces represent. Pisces rules what they consider quote unquote weird sexual things, such as like foot fetish and all of that, or underwear fetish, or panty or fetish with underwear of any kind, or panties, or anything. Pisces rules those different types of things. dancing, like becoming a go-go dancer. Like, what are you going to do? And see, that would benefit you. Not only would benefit others, because of course you have people out there that love, sex work, that love porn, that love sex work. You have people that you will make a have you're a great dancer, you have the skills of a great dancer, you'll make a killing off of being a go-go dancer or whatever. You'll make a lot of money. Of course, you'll have them shitty trances, of course, whereas it may not, some days it may be kind of shitty, whereas you may not make as much money, but at the same time, or you're probably only make enough just for to pay your bills and stuff, but at the same time, you will still be able to make money with what you have. But it have to be, because see, with that Quincunx actually even help you figure out your own passions as well. But as stated, or you use it the other way. It doesn't have to be adult entertainment. It can be in other ways, like such as like, let me give an example. You remember how where like with that show Bring It? I didn't watch it. I always heard about it because I don't watch reality shows. Um, but I really don't. I may come across clips and stuff, but I'm not a fan of them. I don't watch them. Hell, I haven't watched TV reality shows since the Flavor Love and I Love New York days. Now those shows were the shit. And Charm School, those shows were the shit. But I'm just saying you can use that to your advantage, or you can use it to help teach other people to develop their skills, or whatever the case is. However you see fit, whatever the case is, and what you will feel passionate about doing, that's what that is. That's what it is. That's what you should. That's how you should allow those energies to blend together. That's how you should allow it to blend together. Allow those energies to definitely flow. Allow those energies to blend together. Besides keeping them separate and independent. There, actually, the quincunxes, people look at them as problematic, but in a way, you really look at it, they're like a blessing in disguise. It's like something hidden right up under your nose the whole time, a blessing hidden in plain sight the whole time, and you never noticed it was there to a certain time in life. That's what that is. That's what that is. And with that quincunx, it even gonna help highlight the patterns and habits that you would need to break free from in order to be able to work with those energies as well. Allow those energies to work together and to even intertwine together, to even come together to form that harmonic balance. Is what it is. Other than that, it's kind of like friction, especially if the degrees, because it all depends, especially if the degrees are kind of close. It all depends, especially when it comes down to the degrees, because normally with the aspect, even though this goes for any aspect, but definitely with them challenging aspects like them squares and oppositions and stuff, they will with those, it all depends on the degrees of those particular it's all depending on the degrees of those particular placements, how close they are. Because when you really look at the end of the day, it's just like in the synastry reading, like for relationships and stuff like that. If you see a challenging aspect where they in close degrees, really what that close degrees gonna really shows is that the closer the degrees of those and those challenging placements, really it's going to help create more friction, whereas it can make well, it can actually make the challenge a little more tougher. Actually, it can help maximize the energy of that particular challenge, or those particular challenges. Sometimes it can be so close to the point where it can be detrimental, where something may not be worth working out, or whatever the case is. It all, like I said, it all depends. It all depends because it depends on the house and it depends on the degrees. Because the degrees and the house help decide the aspects too. Like for example, you could have a transit going on, and you could have a particular sign or signs that may form a sextile, but see, if they're in a different house and if they're certain degrees apart, is it may not form that sextile or that trine, especially depending on how far apart it is and the houses that's in, or that may be intercepted in the end, or whatever the case is. It all depends. Same thing natally. It all depends. It all depends. Like, let's say for example, if somebody have Aquarius in the, let's say if somebody have their Venus and Aquarius in the eighth, but they have their, if they have their Mars in, what I'm trying to see what other sign I can use. Let's say if they have the Mars in Gemini in the 11th, chances are that may or may not work. It may or may not form. It may not form a sextile, and it may not form because the houses that it's in. It may not form no sextile or no conjunction or no trine. It's definitely not going to form a trine. More likely, it's going to end up forming a square. It's likely going to form a square due to the houses and even the degrees, that's placed in. So when you look at that, and then you look at the rulers too. So when you look at that, yeah. So that's another example. That's pretty much another example. But the quincunxes, they're like oil, water. You just have to allow those energies to work together, and have to learn to work with those energies. You have to learn to harness those energies. It's what it is. Because like I said, it's like a blessing hidden in plain sight, or even right up under your nose, and you don't even know it or don't see it, that it's there, or it's being overlooked. That's how quincunx is like. Same way with how vehicles were invented, and of course they use gas. They use fluids to help keep them running. And now they incorporated more stuff in it, especially after technology became advanced. That's another example of a quincunx. So that's what I want to come on here talk about. That's what a quincunx is. So whatever you have that in your chart, you need to know where that is, and also take into consideration, as I always warned you and remind you all, the degrees, because the degrees tell a different. They tell a deeper story. But this one I want to come on. But this one I want to come on and talk about. Until next time, peace and blessings, everyone.